Summertime, summertime.
Hey, y'all. Oh, my goodness. I'm like making a mess over here.
Tonight, huh?
Yeah, I was like, I had fun making today's drink.
Actually, so did I. So I basically, because I went and bought extra fruit. I got fruit that like it really wasn't in the recipe, but I added it anyway. I bought a batch of fresh fruit, and I literally stopped at the liquor store because I was out of vodka.
Okay.
Gwen, I had some of my Western Sun still in the office, but I'm like, let me get another bottle of this.
Yeah.
So while I was there, I got everything. I didn't get peach schnapps. I got a peach liqueur instead.
Oh, what I did is that I did a peach. I got a can of peaches that had 100% fruit, and I put that in there.
But I cut the recipe in half because I'm like this.
Me too. I did too.
So let me show you guys. This is the punch, all right. And I was trying to find like these nice containers we have, and so we can put it in. And I kind of got a wine glass to serve it in, all right. And I did smaller orange slices. I put strawberries in, blueberries. I was gonna add some cherries because we got some here, but I didn't. And I added some raspberries.
Yeah, I didn't. Nothing was really on sale, so. But I have my two little glasses. This one I put the fruit into. And then this one is because of my mama, so I have two different ones.
So, I mean, and I think this punch is going to be done out of a wine type, like a wine type. I don't know what you call these. And I know we had them here at the house because we've drinking wine out of them. But this is what I want to get. I figured this is what it's going to taste best out of because I did sample it. I made this punch probably about 2 hours ago, and I let it chill. I literally had ice into it. But very little ice. I had the ice kind of like in a pouch, so it wouldn't melt into the drink.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. And then I pulled it out and put dropped the ice cubes into the drink about 10 minutes ago.
Okay.
All right. And that's when I added my ginger ale. So, and then for tonight's food to pair with this tonight, because we kind of looked at what are you going to have at a graduation type party. All right. Most people are coming to drink. They're not really coming to eat, but they're going to have some snacks. So I did my nachos in a frying pan, and yes, I did. I'm holding it because I did it. I heated them up in the oven. So.
Oh, I got to get a picture of that. Hold on, you got to put that back up. I wasn't ready for it, so a little bit higher. There we go. Love it.
Cut it all, put it in there, and melted it. And I didn't want to take it out of the frying pan because it looked so good. Now my sliders. I've got hamburger that I just made hamburger sliders. I threw some ketchup on mine, but then I also put in I did the shredded cheese.
Okay.
All right. And I've got a jalapeno onto it, and I think I put maybe a pickle onto it. I didn't put cheese on. Other than that, that's the only cheese I put onto it. But then I made them and I let them sit, and I hit them up. I warmed them up for about 30 seconds.
Okay.
All right, is what I did with mine. My buns, I kind of burnt my one bun.
Oops, it happens sometimes.
A little bit because I just put them in the toaster oven. I think they're potato roll buns because it's the only slider buns we could get at the store yesterday. So,
well, I made my punch yesterday.
Okay.
I got it all prepped. Today I cut up the fruit, and so I added it's been refrigerated since yesterday. Okay. I added the fruit in the ice right before coming on the podcast. So I wanted it to look all pretty all around. Strawberries and blueberries were not on sale. What I almost threw in here, though, were peaches.
Then peaches would have been good in this. Yeah.
Yeah. So I did buy the coleslaw, and then I did make my sliders. So this is the King's Hawaiian. It doesn't look like it, but it is a King's Hawaiian. So what I did with this, I'm going to thank the kitchen for the recipe. Of course, I made it my own, but it's from the kitchen. So it called for, the whole thing of sliders. I only bought the 4 Hawaiian rolls. With the serrated knife, you cut in half. You then put cheese. So there's 2 cheeses it called for. It called for cheddar and it called for mozzarella. And so what I did is that I did a combination of 4 cheeses. So there's a Vermont, there's cheddar, the sharp cheddar, the mild cheddar, and something else. So it's 4 cheeses. I put that at the bottom, shredded. Then on the, I also added the low low milk on the mozzarella because otherwise it gets all gooey. And for this, you want some gooiness, but not too much. I had already made chicken soup because it's been raining here. Welcome summer and raining, pouring down rain. That's how bad it's been. So I needed something warm and fuzzy. So on Saturday, I made chicken soup. So I had the chicken, and so I shredded the chicken, mayo, sour cream, mustard, Dijon mustard, a little bit of pepper. I added just a pinch of salt, some garlic, and scallions. And I didn't have enough scallions, so I added a sweet onion that I had, chopped that up, and mixed it all together. So then on the bun, I did the cheese, then I did the chicken. Then on the top bun, I had melted some butter. So I did the inside of the bun, then also the top of the bun. What I did for the top, instead of, they suggested toasted sesame seeds. What I did is that I got the everything bagel, and I just put that on top. Then I threw it in the oven, covered with aluminum foil for 20 minutes or so. Then I uncovered it and threw it back in there for another 5 to just brown it a little bit. So this is my extra cheesy chicken sliders. And then I thought I need a side for it. So coleslaw. I did make nachos on Friday. Yeah, it was Friday. I made nachos and sheet pan because why not? And it was with ground beef and I had all the fixins, it was a sharp white cheddar. So that big block of Tillamook, half of it went into, so this is a 3-pound block. So 1.5 pounds of cheese went into my nachos. So I put the layer at the bottom of the chips, then cheese, then a little bit of the grounded beef. Then I put more chips, more cheese, and then a little bit more beef, more cheese on top, more, and then of course, once it was in the oven, when it came out, I added the I did cook black beans in there when I threw it in the oven to get everything melted. Tomatoes, scallions, sour cream, avocado. So that was all the toppings. It looked beautiful. I actually do have a picture of those nachos that I was like going, man, I still make good nachos. I don't make them that often. I've done them with pork. I've done them with ground beef as well as with chicken. And actually, I really like the chicken. This is the platter.
Oh, wow.
Of nachos that I did. It was just beautiful. I mean, look at those colors. I love it. For me, it's all about the colors. So all the beautiful colors that were in there. So it was delicious, absolutely delicious. And so I went with the sliders this time. Thank you to the kitchen for the inspiration and recipe. For the most part, I followed it, but not completely, as always. But the punch, y'all, one of the things that was very specific, we picked this about a month ago, and there was 5 different drinks. There was a graduation mojito or honor roll mojito. There was an honor roll. It was a sangria. The one we picked with the Summa Cum Laude. Now, the word Summa comes from Latin that means literally with highest praise. And it's usually awarded to the top 1, 2, or 5% of the class, depending on the institution. So usually a Summa Cum Laude is for grades 3.9 or higher. So there's the Cum Laude, which is usually 3.5 to 3.7499. And then you have the Magna Cum Laude, which is 3.75 to 3.9499. And then the Summa Cum Laude is the highest honor. So it all depends on the institution. So like the University of Maryland in Baltimore County, they're 3.95 to 4, whereas the University of California in San Diego, their range is 3.986 to 4. So their requirements is a little different. So it just depends on but the benchmark is usually 3.9 is the norm.
And Tim, so has never been near any of them. You too can have a podcast.
Right. Well, the other thing that I thought of, because I remember back in 2011 when I had gotten laid off again from the company I was working for. So I got laid off twice within 6 months, then got moved to Texas, and then got laid off in Texas. It was just like, oh my goodness, y'all, you either want me or don't. But I did I was part of Toastmasters at the time, and one of the things I had to do was a monologue, and it was right around graduation time that all this happened. So one of the speeches that I heard was Conan O'Brien to Dartmouth College in 2011. And so there was a lot of things that he had gone through that I felt like I'm going through this. So I actually borrowed my friend's gown. I still had my cap, and of course I also had all my ropes and my lassos, what have you. And so I wore this because a lot of times I do have my masters. So it was kind of this look, and I kind of like this because it was sheer and pretty. But I thought, you know what, usually you wear black and then you wear, what goes to the back. So I thought this was appropriate for today. But I'm going to read to you part of this because it was, I think, like an 11-minute monologue. It was a speech, but I considered it a monologue. But it said what Conan O'Brien said. David Letterman wanted to be Johnny Carson and was not. And as a result, my generation of comedians wanted to be David Letterman, and none of us are. My peers and I have all missed the mark in 1,000 different ways. But the point is this: it is our failure to become our perceived ideal that ultimately defines us and makes us unique. It's not easy, but if you accept your misfortune and handle it right, your perceived failure will be a catalyst for profound reinvention. And all the things he had said leading up to that, of the hurt he had gone through, the same as I did, all these little things was like, oh my goodness, they hit home. But that, it was like, it was comforting for me. But now when we look at fast forward, I've published 2 books, working on my 3rd. I have this wonderful podcast. I have a successful business. I'm a business owner. I had a side gig at the time, but this is my business. I'm living off of it. I now live in Oregon. All of these things, I had to reinvent myself.
Yeah.
And that's what I got reminded back then, that, okay, I have to reinvent myself, but I didn't know what that was going to be. And fast forward 14 years, I'm like, no, they did me a favor, because I wouldn't be where I am right now. I wouldn't have spent the time with my mom because I was her caregiver. So I was like, how do I take care of mom and do, go to a job? It was virtually impossible. So there was a lot of thank yous I have to give that organization. Thank you to the last brokerage firm that I was with, 5 years later. I'm doing well. I'm happy. I'm happier. I didn't have to worry about the culture. So that was one thing that I will have to thank Conan O'Brien, that he helped me back in 2011. And reflecting now, it's like, imagine that. So that was one. There's another one that was also significant.
I want to read that. Can I read the other one?
Yeah. The one from the Admiral.
The one from the Admiral, because this one here is something that I heard this from Larry Broughton, what he said, but it is something that has stuck with me for years. In 2014, he did this speech. Admiral William H. McRaven, he was at the University of Texas in Austin in 2014. During Admiral McRaven's speech at his alma mater, he looked to the lessons he learned serving our country, one of which was so simply yet profound and impactful. All right, and this is why I asked Gladys if I can share this one here. All right, if you make your bed every morning, you have accomplished the first task of the day. It will give you a small sense of pride. It will encourage you to do another task and another and another. By the end of the day, that one task completed will have turned into many tasks completed. Making your bed will also reinforce the fact that little things in life matter. And if by chance you have a miserable day, you can come back home to a bed that is made, that you made, and a made bed gives you encouragement that tomorrow will be better. The reason I wanted to read that and share that one there, when I met my wife in 2008, all right, I was a guy who was a single guy trying to just get through and find my niche of a business. And I met my wife, and the one thing that mattered to her most every day was the bed was made. So I took on that thing that my, at that time, girlfriend practiced in her life. And I said, okay, from now on, I'm going to get up and make the bed first thing every morning. Now, we've been married now well over 15 years and been together for a long time. And now I get up later than she does, so I'm the one who makes the bed every day. All right.
Right.
When I published the book that I have pre-written and programmed called "You Don't Need a Life Coach: How to Fix Your Own Damn Life in 90 Days," step number 1 is get up and make your bed. All right. Now I didn't hear that. Granted, I've heard the Admiral's speech, but I didn't hear it from him. I heard it the first time in public. I want to say it was 2010, 11, maybe 12, from Larry Broughton. All right, who was a great hero of both, in a mastermind with both Gladys and I. All right, he was Broughton Hotels, and I could never in a million years give enough shout outs to Larry Broughton. And while we talk about, you know what I mean, food and beverage and stuff that we eat and drink, and we celebrate graduations, I did not graduate the highest in my class. I didn't go to college. I couldn't afford college. I couldn't study enough to make it through college. It was just not in my cards for what I can do and what this mind can comprehend. I'm not saying college is a great thing, and I'm not saying college is a bad thing. But one of the things I've learned, and the motivational part of me, is those people who do the little things are the ones that accomplish great things. And that really is, this speech has been one of those ones that has always attracted me, because it does. It helps me accomplish great things. Because I do things first, and it's why my branding is called Simple Easy. So anyway, I'm going to bring the guest up here today because he wants to come in and say hi. But he's not touching my food because it has peppers in it. And the punch is way back. He touched that because it's vodka. But anyway, this little boy here just every day wants to come in and be part of the show. Nope, that's Grandpa's, and you will really, really not like it.
I also make my bed every day. That's a thing. It's like the bed has to be made. It's just for me, it's very important. And part of it is I'm a little bit of a neat person. I like certain things, but also I feel like I've accomplished one thing. If nothing, I made the bed that day, if nothing else. So I'm glad that you read that one, because that was one that I was like going, oh, we definitely have to share that one. And there was others that we found out there that we may come back to, but we're going to talk about this lovely punch here. So we did adjust it because that's what we do. We adjusted, but it called for I also only made half of it. So it's 2 cups of orange juice. So I cut it in half. So what I'm going to give you is the full recipe, not the half, but 2 cups.
It'll be in our Facebook group too. We'll put it up there too. But
and that one came from
the website we got it from.
Yes, National Bartending School.
Yeah,
so
we got this from another website, and we always give credit to them, because we're not the creators. Sometimes we create our drinks, and we admit it when we create it. But for the most part, we give credit to those people who credit it.
Yep.
Go ahead.
So National Bartending School, Summa Cum Laude Punch. It's a vibrant punch that's easy to serve and perfect for a crowd. And like we said, you can always hold back the alcohol and put it in after the fact. So 2 cups of orange juice, 2 cups of cranberry juice, 1 cup pineapple juice, 1 cup vodka. One thing that neither one of us did was the 1 cup of the peach schnapps. You can do something else. You can, put peach juice in there, anything of that nature. You don't have to do peach schnapps. And then 2 liter. Oh, that's what I forgot, the ginger ale. Oh my goodness, I knew I was missing something. I left my ginger ale. I'm going to do that right now. I'm going to go grab it. The ginger ale, ice cubes, and fruit slices for garnishing. So in a punch bowl, what I did is that I just got a bowl. I mixed the juices, and then I put it into a mason jar, if you will. And then I let it sit overnight. And so then I put it into my little punch bowl here, or serving carafe here, and that's it. And so I just put the fruit into my glass directly, just to make it look pretty. I put some of the ice in there, and then I added the Gompers vodka. So that's what I'm using today. I added it to here, and it tastes pretty good. But I forgot the ginger ale, so I'm gonna go grab the ginger ale. I did buy diet ginger or sugar-free ginger ale.
Okay. I
knew I was missing something. You can make your own ginger ale, or you can use lemon lime soda, lemon lime sparkling water. So you can do something different other than the ginger ale. This one I got it because I've not bought ginger ale forever, and it was less expensive than the smaller thing of the of another one. So I said, I'll just go with Canada Dry. So let me go buy it. I have to buy it. I got to go grab it. I will
grab it. I'm going to talk about. So I mixed this a couple hours ago, and I added all my juices in. All my juices I got in the Q. If you go to most of your liquor stores, they have the Q mixers. I've got the Q mixers. I've got both the orange juice, the cranberry juice, and the pineapple juice from Q mixers. The pineapple juice was more of a thicker paste type juices for the mix. So was your orange juice, and your cranberry juice was not like a cocktail or like an ocean spray, which is one of the greatest cranberry juices out there. So it wasn't like a cocktail type orange or juice. I combined all of them with the vodka, and I put a peach liqueur in mine. If you go back to, I think it was episode 6 or 7, we did peach schnapps, and I did not fare well. And that's why I don't keep schnapps in the house anymore, because most schnapps are really, they're the headache causers. They're really, really cheap products that they're made of. And I don't like, at this age in life, I don't want to drink cheap stuff. I mixed all of that. I chopped up my fruit and I put it into it. And then I put a bag of ice in the actual bucket. And then I set it in my office refrigerator where it's a little cooler. And I let this sit in there till about, I want to say it was about, now almost 45 minutes ago now. I took it out. I poured it into this pitcher. And then I added my ginger ale. Now I use those Q mixers, ginger ales. I used 2 of them, 2 small bottles of them. So I went by bottles, not by cups.
Okay.
Or half cups. It was very close to half cups. The only thing that I think I may have added more of the pineapple juice because I had more extra.
Yeah, I did too, because it was missing something. So I added a little bit more pineapple juice. And when I did that, it was like, that's what it needed. Just taste it. How do you like it? Because I had it just by itself. And so right now I added the Canada Dry 0 sugar ginger ale.
Yeah.
And it just gave it a little bit of a fizz and a little bit of a sweetness to it. And so whatever you eat, you don't want it to overpower your punch, especially if you want all those flavors to come out. So that's why I went with this. Anything citrusy would have worked also. But this sounded really good. So I'm going to take a bite of this cheesy goodness.
I almost was going to get, what's that? Topo Chico Seltzer. Just add that to it instead of ginger ale. Because I was thinking that all the sweets from the juices might be too much. Ginger ale is kind of a sweet.
Yeah.
Whereas our ginger beer would kind of have a tart.
Yeah, I considered ginger beer also. And I also saw the Peña Fiel, which is that Mexican brand that has the fizzy, and they had pineapple flavor. And they had the pineapple flavor one. So I thought, that'll work, if I don't get the pineapple juice. But this is actually, it has 0 sugar, 0 calories, 120 milligrams of sodium. But it tastes, I just poured it into here. I did not pour it into the pitcher here.
Oh, okay.
But you can do that. I mean, the whole point is to have a pitcher already ready where people just pour. And the great thing is, again, you're making a punch. You don't have to add the alcohol. You can just set it next to it, or you can put it in there, whatever you prefer. If you want to control how much, then you put it into the pitcher. But if you want, you can allow people to choose how much vodka. The other thing is you can put gin in there. You can put moonshine. So you can allow people to choose what they want to put in there. But this is
pretty much any clear liquor would have went with this.
Yes.
All right. But the way you were describing it, so if this is something you want to have in your refrigerator and then be pouring a glass every now and then, a couple days, I would mix it with all your fruits. Maybe I'd put the vodka in, maybe I wouldn't. I would add the ginger ale per serving.
Per serving.
Add the ginger ale and add the vodka. All right. And that's a way that you can build the punch, have everything into it, have it sitting in your refrigerator, pour it a glass at a time. All right. And then do it. In my case, because I did the whole pitcher this way, I'm stuck with a whole pitcher. Now, hopefully, around the house, between the 5 adults that live around here, we'll be able to finish this thing off. We'll see. But
And that's why I wanted to keep it separate just so that I could pour it back into my mason jar.
yeah.
This cheesiness, it is absolutely delicious. And then the nutritional value, actually, I think I might have it. Give me a second. Let me see if I got the nutritional value. So it is peanut free, pork free, red meat free, fish free, soy free, kidney friendly, sugar conscious, tree nut free, alcohol free, shellfish free, and sulfite free. If in a 12 servings, it has 291 calories, 17.1 grams of fat, 7 grams of saturated fat, 16.7 grams of carbs, 1 gram of fiber, 1 gram of sugar, 17 grams of protein, 356 milligrams of sodium. So that's actually, I was like going, okay, that's pretty darn good, when you look at the nutritional value. Any leftovers, you can put it in an airtight container and keep it up for 3 days. The punch will hold longer, of course, so long as you don't have the fruit sitting in it. So just make sure that if you do save any of the punch, separate the fruit, because the fruit is what will break down your drink. And so don't do that. But
all right. I want to do some shout outs here to some people who've actually chimed in tonight.
Oh, nice.
I haven't seen this one in a while. Cindy Lee. It's been a while since we've seen you, Cindy. Someone who we paired up with early on in the show. All right. And actually we did, I think we were on a couple of episodes of her podcast as well. Your friend Mark tagging you as the queen of drinks.
Yeah, he calls me GSD. I like the queen better though. I have my crown right over here. Don't make me put my crown on because I do have it.
Aha.
I do.
I thought we were in No Kings or Queens Week or something like that, weren't we?
I would put it on right there though, and I'll look pretty.
Blah
blah blah.
And then I want to give a shout out another faithful member of our mastermind.
Yes.
She's attends an awful lot. Janie Becker. All right. Janie is one awesome, supportive human being that I'm glad. And she gives best wishes to all graduates this graduate season. All right. And if you have graduated college or if you graduated high school, all right. College mainly, because high school, we know you're going to drink, but we can't encourage it on this show.
Right.
Sorry. There are certain laws we must obey. But have the virgin portion of our stuff and don't have the vodka into it.
Right. Well, I have a friend of mine that I've known since I was 12 years old. Her son just graduated high school. Mm-hmm. So she's not on Facebook. She just doesn't, but her husband is. And so he says, congratulations, he graduated. And so I messaged him directly. And so he sent me pictures of the graduation and everything. And I'm like, oh my goodness, that is so sweet. He's going to be in, I think he said civil engineer at Purdue is where he's going to be going to. So that was just exciting, but I was like going, oh my goodness, I felt a little old because I've known mom since 12 years old. And then dad, of course, I met him once, as adults. They met in college and then got engaged after the fact. That's when I met him, after the fact. But it's like how these kids, when I'm seeing my friends that I've known since elementary or junior high and their kids are graduating or their kids are getting married. And it's like, oh my goodness, I'm up there in age. Thanks for the reminder, y'all.
No. Saturday night we went over to see a show at the theater we go to, Casa Manana here in Fort Worth, Texas. They did a cabaret show on Simon and Garfunkel.
Okay.
And there's a couple that we used to be close neighbors with us. I know my wife going back many, many years. Their son was like 4 and 5 years old when Gwen and I started dating and got married. And he used to come over and hang out with us, or we used to babysit him every now and then. He's now in his second year of college and came to see us, at the Simon and Garfunkel thing, which, first of all, we thought was interesting because how does this kid even know who Simon and Garfunkel are?
Right. Simon and Garfunkel were before our time.
Yes. So anyway, I got to see him, and he's in his second year of college, and it looks like he's studying to be an attorney, and his name's Mark. He's a great young kid. And I just said to him, you got to come up the house. We haven't seen you, and see him all grown up. Because the last time I seen him, he was about as short as that little grandson of mine. Yeah.
Well, I will tell you, my intern, I've had her for the last 3 years. She's going into her 4th year at Oregon State University. And when I saw her this year, I was like, I mean, she's always been cute. Now she's beautiful young lady. There's just some demeanor about her where I've known her since she was like, I don't know, 15 or 16. And now here she is 21, and going into her last year, and she's such a hard worker. So my shout out goes to Carla, for being just an excellent, just person. She's just the sweetest young lady. And her dad sent me a message to thank me for rehiring her again. I'm like, she's a freaking hard worker. And I told him from the time I hired her, after week 1, I was like, oh my goodness. I know you're hard on her and you tell her all the things she needs to do. I said, but she has just a wonderful work ethic. She's just amazing. Comes in, does her work, takes care of it, and just makes sure that it's done right. It's amazing to see that level of detail. I haven't seen in the people I had hired. I have hired and fired a lot of people in my lifetime, but here in my business, I've hired and fired multiple people, and she is my best person that I've had. And she's just amazing. And she's going to go into IT, but she's gaining some business knowledge, and she knows more about insurance than she ever wanted to know, I'm sure. But she's gaining that experience, which I'm like, I will write a letter recommendation whenever she wants.
Yeah. So, we want to, it's June. June's almost over. Summer has started. It's officially summer. Graduation, a lot of kids have graduated, and I know we talked about this. I said we put in this episode back in May. But we know a lot of kids that graduated, they've gone on to celebrate. This was just the soonest we can do a graduation episode.
Right.
So, yeah. It was the closest we could fit it in. But education is something that, we value. All right. Because we're, Gladys and I met because we were in the self-help industry. That's literally how we met. All right. Which means that I believe that you're never done learning. Mm-hmm. All right, you're never done learning. So, and here it looks like Robert chiming in.
Hey, Robert.
So, anyway, so that's what tonight's episode is all about. All right, we had to find a different punch to try this time, and who knows, maybe next year we'll do this again. We'll do a different one off that list. But anyway,
I really like this. I really did. The ginger ale really makes a difference. It just gives it a little bit of sweetness in there.
With all the punches that we've done on the show, and most punches, usually the thing that we add to most punches that we didn't add to this one is a lot of punches add sherbet. No sherbet.
Yeah.
All right. And I think that would have given a different taste, but I think this is probably what most punches are like without the sherbet. So,
yeah, and you know what? I think that we can add sherbet to this. It would be just fine.
Yeah.
In my opinion, this was really yummy. I think all the fruit that you added just elevated it. I really like that. Blueberries, strawberries, raspberries. One that give it color, and it just makes the punch look beautiful.
And I'm going to tell you, the strawberries and blueberries, when you take them and just pick them out and eat them, after they've been soaking in that alcohol for a while, they're really good.
There's that too. Spike your fruit.
Spike your fruit, man. There's going to be our hashtag of the day. Spike your fruit.
Hey, I've done that with olives. Left them sitting in vodka, and olives absorb the vodka, y'all. It was like going woo. I was like, I could taste it in there, and it was quite interesting. Nice meaty olive, green olive.
Yeah.
You can soak it in, and there are olives that they're soaked in vermouth, but you can also, vodka and
I remember the spicy cherries that I was using in my old fashioned, the spiked cherries they were called.
Yeah.
And it was my son Noah got them for us one time, and it was when we were starting the podcast, and I put them, I think, in a couple of different old fashions. They were really, really good. And that juice, because it was a spiked juice that those cherries were sitting in. Oh my God! Just adding that juice to it sometimes is really good.
Yeah, get some good cherries. One of my clients, they spend a little bit more money on their cocktails because they're using everything natural. They're using the lemons and the limes and the oranges and the cucumbers and everything fresh, and they make their own margarita mix. They don't do any pre-mix, anything like, no, they make it. And his thought is, what if somebody gets a $15 or $14 whatever margarita, and they'll have it once and that's it. But if it's a good margarita, guess what? They're going to come back and they're going to order it again. So yes, he's making less of a profit on it because he's spending more money on fresh ingredients, but he wants the best in his restaurant. Everything is fresh. Everything is cooked in-house. There's no pre-made anything. And that's what he's known for. He opened up his second restaurant that I'm like, oh my goodness, I have to go check out his second restaurant. And in about a month and a half, I'll be again being the MC for his next tequila tasting. So
awesome.
We're gonna nail down the date. We will share it with y'all. So if you're in the Portland area, I would love for you to be there and be part of the tequila tasting because it's a lot of fun. Your money, you will get plenty of food. You will get plenty of tequilas.
This punch probably could have been done with a good tequila too. That's why I said I said a clear alcohol.
Yes, tequila.
Huh?
So moonshine, vodka, gin, tequila, maybe rum. Rum, possibly.
Well, you could have put a good rum with this. The only clear one I wouldn't have done with this is a Sambuca.
No.
Sambuca would have been too sugary, too sweet for this.
And too anise.
Yeah.
It would have just killed all the other flavors. That's the thing.
It would have.
With Sambuca, it just like crushes all other flavors.
One more time coming in to say night nights. Hi, wave to everybody. Wave to everybody. Say night nights to everybody. Say bye-bye. Say bye-byes.
He looks like he's about to go to sleep.
He is. It's close to his bedtime, and he said, "There we go."
Oh, there you go.
He's had a very very tiring day. Watch this. So this is one thing that Grandpa's gotten good with him is, hey, can Grandpa have a kiss? Can Grandpa have a kiss? Grandpa have a kiss? No, he won't do it now. He's said, now that I'm trying
he's getting all
do it. All day, anytime I've asked the last couple of days, Grandpa have a kiss? He goes and gives me a kiss and walks away. Okay, Grandpa have a kiss before I let you down? I'm gonna let you down if you don't give me a kiss. Night nights. And he's still down on the ground waving. Night nights. Night nights. Grandpa, see you tomorrow.
There you go. But you know what, y'all? You're as you have graduates going off. I had a client come in today, and her daughter's about to graduate in about a year. But there's certain things that I'm trying to help her become an adult and do her own thing, But mom is still trying to help whatever she can, and parents will always be there for us. I mean, I remember friends teasing me. It's like, oh yeah, that my mom would hold me in her legs, and I'm like, well, she really can't hold me on her legs, but my mama would, I would crawl next to her in bed, and she would just, rub on my head and just love on me, as weak as she was when I was taking care of her, being next to her, mom was always mom.
Yeah.
Dad will always be dad. It's we got to, and sometimes it's not our own flesh and blood, but we find a mom or a dad that just are there for us. I have my little old lady friends that just when they see me, they give me hugs and kisses, and I love being around them, and they remind me of my mama in one way or another.
Yeah.
And they're just mom for me now. You know, it's like, it's just sweet to be around them and feeling that that motherly love. You know, they can't, their daughters are grown and gone. And then there's me, you know, I come in, and so they get to give me, I get to take advantage of the love that they can't give to their daughters because their daughters are, you know, gone. And my mom did that to a couple of my friends, where my mom was giving my friends love and attention. And I was like, I'm not jealous. I'm like, my mom is still my mom. And I'm glad that she can give you some attention and you can get some love from somebody else because your mom is not around. You know, I didn't mind. I was like, she will continue to be my mom and she will continue loving me. And if she can give you some love, you know, and now I'm getting it. So I feel blessed, privileged, honored that I get to have some of these ladies that get to give me that love because I don't have my mama anymore. So
Yeah.
so love on your graduates.
So anyway,
Yeah, and graduates know that your parents will be there, and if they're not, that's okay. You will find other people in your life that will help guide you. If you're not graduating from college, if you've just went through high school and you're doing the technical route, that's okay. You know, there's so many different routes that everybody can take. Just do your best. You know, if you see that, you know, there was somebody, one of the, you know, as I was reading through the transcripts of some of these graduation speeches, commencement ceremony speeches, they said, you know, people that know because they know, and you don't know. So listen, and then when you figure certain things out that they haven't figured out, that's your opportunity to figure it out for them. Mm-hmm. So it gives you another level of thinking. Don't reinvent the wheel, just improve on it. You know, learn it. I would tell my associates that learn the job, and once you learn it, question why you're doing it and make it better. Yeah. So make it better. And when in doubt, one of the commencement speakers said, when you are at the crossroads where you don't know, do it with love. And put love into it, and it'll come out okay. You know, just, you know, show the love that you have for other people, because we've lost so much humanity out there. So just be respectful and show love and attention, and do everything that you do with the best that you can, because what you do one thing, you do all things. So just show that you can, as best you can. So that's all I got to say about that.
That's all I got to say about that.
Yeah.
Forrest Gump. All right. Well, before we go, couple of different shout outs and things we like to do here at the end, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, this show is brought to you by both Gladys and I, and our businesses pay the bills. We are trying to build a community of people who want to go out and do adventures with us and actually do. That's why we're doing the show, is to actually do events and parties and pairings and things like that together. You want to find out more, you want to become part of that group, go to likethewayyoudrink.com and click on a thing called the Insiders Club. That's just what we call it, the Insiders Club. We may change the name of it to the VIP Club or something like that. I don't know. But that's just what we call it. It's a list of people that we want to go do things with. All right. You put your information in. We have to verify that you're 21 to be able to invite you to an event.
And you've seen some of my live posts. I mean, I was at, it was a very small, intimate group at Left Coast Winery in Independence, Oregon. That was fun. And I did a little post on that and posted some pictures too. So those are some of the things that you would be invited to.
Yes. And we will develop more about what the Insiders or VIP Club becomes as we develop over time. All right. It's just something we want to take this to the next level. That is our goal, to take this to the next level and have more fun with this, because we have a lot of fun doing the show, but we want to do more things with you as a community. So go there and join and become part of our community. Every week, our businesses are the sponsors of this. All right. And it's you know, it costs money to put a show on. So, I mean, you know, our businesses pay the bills every week to be able to do this. So we do a little commercial for our business. I don't know what you want to do today. You want to do the commercials, or you want to do the?
Yeah, let's do the commercial. That's fine. I like that.
We have these wonderful things we get to put out here. Make sure I get the right one for you.
Some of the
Welcome
things
to Insurance by Design, the expert in crafting tailored employee benefits packages, working with both your English and Spanish-speaking staff. Led by the acclaimed Gladys Boutwell, we're licensed to serve you in Oregon and Washington. Gladys brings a wealth of expertise with an MBA in international business and leadership, and is a certified insurance counselor. Honored for her contributions to Latino equity in Oregon, Gladys is also a best-selling author. Her book, Health Insurance Secrets Revealed, is revolutionizing how we understand insurance. With bilingual prowess, Gladys enhances communication, making insurance smoother and easier for all your employees.
I like that commercial.
I do too. And guess who did that for me? It was Tim.
I know. And if you want to meet with Gladys, go to enrollnoworegon.com, get on our calendar. All right. And not that I'm pitching her, but we've done each other's routines so often. We know each other's routine. But if you want to get on our calendar, all right, go to our website and get her free download as well. All right. And we'll find out more. Let's do this next one here for the wonderful Simple Easy website.
Is your website attracting the traffic and engagement it deserves? At SimpleEasyWebsites.com, we specialize in transforming ordinary websites into extraordinary experiences. Our experts know what it takes to make your online presence stand out and succeed. Gain valuable insights and tailored strategies with our professional website review. Don't let your website be just another page in the digital world. Visit SimpleEasyWebsites.com now and book your consultation today.
All right. And yes, I can actually help you with your website, help you get more leads from it, make it an actual business tool that leads to business, which is what
right.
we'll be doing. So, and I know, and I do Gladys's website, so you can go check that out. So, what else?
He does.
Anything, girl?
Thank you all for being here. Thank you for our guests that are joining us. Looking forward to the next few weeks, so stay tuned. Always follow us on, I say Facebook and YouTube because you can see our videos, but on all the channels, you will find us. We're there.
We're on Instagram now. I don't think we have a Twitter, but we're on Instagram. We are on Facebook. We are on. We're not on Twitter yet, but we are on YouTube. So. And we're on Apple, and we're on Spotify, and we're on all those things. So, anyway, there's other places we're trying to get, but some places we just have not been able to close the deal yet. We're working on it.
We'll get there. We'll get there. It's fun.
Anyway, there's our Instagram one. But anyway, other than that, ladies and gentlemen, it's been a great week with you guys. We'll be back next week with another great show. In the meantime, guys, cheers.
Cheers, y'all.